Jamaica's government has taken the first step towards removing King Charles as its head of state, tabling a bill to abolish the constitutional monarchy and transition to a republic. Despite gaining independence in 1962, it's one of many former colonies where the British monarch still has a leading role. The bill has yet to go to a parliamentary vote and national referendum. The last country to do this was Barbados in 2021.
Jamaica is a very free and liberal country, and the people are very expressive, and I'm certain that you would have seen the spectrum of expressions yesterday. There are issues here which are, as you would know, unresolved. But your presence gives an opportunity for those issues to be placed in context, put front and center, and to be addressed in as best as we can. But Jamaica is, as you would see, a country that is very proud of our history, very proud of what we have achieved, and we are moving on, and we intend to attain in short order our development goals and fulfill our true ambitions and destiny as an independent, developed, prosperous country.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today I'd like us to dive into a topic that is not just making headlines, but it is actively shaping the future of an entire nation. And it is Jamaica's historic journey to formally cut the colonial code and become a republic. This is not just about tweaking a few lines in a legal document, or no, this is not history unfolding, right? But I mean, before was a profound moment where identity, sovereignty, and the very soul of a nation are on the line. Because for decades, the idea of Jamaica shedding its ties from the British monarchy has been a conversation whispered in corners, debated in academic halls, and occasionally erupting into public discourse. But now it's no longer hypothetical. Listen, it's real, it's tangible, and it's moving forward with the momentum. A moment that many thought they might never see in their lifetime. We are talking about a fundamental shift of declaration of full independence that goes beyond the flag and the anthem. It's about truly owning the narrative about a nation standing tall, entirely self-determined, without any remnants of a past. For many, still cast along a colonial shadow, but the burning question on everyone's minds is this: will scrapping King Charles III as the head of state truly usher in an era of meaningful, tangible change for the average Jamaican? Or is this a move at its heart simply symbolic voice, a grand gesture that doesn't quite touch the daily realities of life on the island? These are the critical questions we'll be exploring together, peeling back the layers to understand what's truly at stake. So let's zoom out for a moment and get the big picture, the catalyst that has brought us to this pivotal point. It's crystallized in December 2024 when the Jamaican government made a monumental announcement. They introduced the Constitutional Amendment, Republic Bill 2024. This wasn't just another piece of legislation. It was in many ways a bombshell, the bill's core purpose. What is it? So today, decisively remove King Charles III from his position as Jamaica's head of state and in his place install a Jamaican president. Think about the magnitude of that. After centuries of a monarch across the ocean serving as the symbolic head, Jamaica is on the verge of choosing one of its own. You might be asking, why now? What lit the fire under this long-standing debate? The answer in large part can be traced back to November 2021 when Barbados made its own historic leap. The Jamaica's Caribbean sister nation, Barbados, successfully transitioned to a republic, replacing Queen Elizabeth II with its own president. That move sent ripples of inspiration and renewed motivation across the entire Caribbean. It was a powerful demonstration that such a transition was not just possible, but also a viable and logical step for a former British colonies. For many in the region, including a growing number of Jamaicans, the idea of the British monarchy serving as the head of state felt increasingly anachronistic, a lingering relic of a colonial past would no longer align with the aspirations for a fully unadulterated sovereignty. It felt quite simple, like an outdated arrangement. Now, let us break down the actual proposals. What does this bill, this potential constitutional overhaul, really entail for Jamaica? It's important to understand that the specifics, because the devil, as they say, is often in the details. First and perhaps most centrally is the proposal for a Jamaican president as the ceremonial head of state. Okay, this is crucial to understand. This is not envisioning a president with the sweeping executive powers you might see in say the United States. Instead, think of it more along the lines of the current governor general setup, but with a profoundly significant difference. This head of state would be a Jamaican citizen, chosen by Jamaicans for Jamaicans, or in simple words, you say that is democracy. The proposal suggests that Parliament will be responsible for nominating this president. And critically, this process is intended to be bipartisan, involving active participation and agreement both from the government and from the opposition. That's the name of bipartisan. The idea here is to ensure that the chosen individual represents the broad will of the nation rather than just one political faction. It's about unity in leadership. Second, for those who might worry about losing familiar aspects of national identity, there is good news. Your national symbols are set to stay exactly the same. This means that the starting notes of your national anthem will remain, the vibrant colors of your flag will continue to wave proudly, and your national motto will endure. These symbols are already deeply ingrained, already proudly and univocally Jamaican. They represent the heart and the soul of the nation, and their continuity provides a comforting anchor amidst significant constitutional changes. The shift is not about erasing identity, it's about solidifying who is at the helm of that identity. Third, we need to talk about the legal and judicial shifts that are part of this conversation. This is where things get a bit more intricate, because currently the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in London serves as Jamaica's final court of appeal. The proposal suggests that for now the Privy Council might remain in place. However, there is undeniable growing pressure to eventually transition to the Caribbean Court of Justice, that is CCJ, located in Trinidad and Tobago, as the nation's ultimate judicial authority. This is a significant point of debate, as a truly sovereign nation, for many, must have its final legal decisions made within its own region by judges who understand the unique legal and social context of the Caribbean. The debate here centers on whether you can truly cut the colonial code without also taking full ownership of your highest judicial processes. It's a powerful argument for a complete self-determination. Number 4, the proposed changes go beyond just the head of state. They involve a broader constitutional overhaul. This is not just about making one or two amendments. It's about a comprehensive rewrite, a modernization of old British era laws that have lingered on the books for far too long. This includes updating fundamental rights, ensuring they reflect contemporary values and global standards, and even digitizing legal texts to make them more accessible and user-friendly in the 21st century. So imagine a legal framework. A legal framework truly reflects modern Jamaica, built for its people, by its people, and adapted to today's realities, rather than being bound by statutes from a bygone era. That's the vision. Finally, perhaps most crucially, is the requirement for a referendum. This is not a decision that can be made solely by politicians behind closed doors. The proposed change to the head of state is so fundamental that it requires a rigorous multi-layered approval process. Specifically, it needs the approval of 2/3 majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. But even that's not enough. After legislative approval, it must then be put to the people in a public referendum. This means you, the citizens of Jamaica, will have the ultimate say. Your vote will determine whether this historic transition this historic transition takes place. That was a short commercial break. I mean, it's a powerful affirmation of democratic principles, ensuring that such a foundational shift has the legitimate mandate of the people it serves. So, what's the public sentiment like on the ground? It's certainly mixed. As with any major national decision, but the general feeling seems to be leaning supportive. A significant poll conducted in 2022 indicated that somewhere between 56 and 59% of Jamaicans express support for becoming a republic. What's particularly striking is the strong backing from young people. Younger generations in particular seem to feel a powerful pull towards a leader who not only shares the heritage and background, but who also understands the unique experiences and aspirations. Think about that for a moment. A head of state who grew up just like you did, someone who knows the struggles, the triumphs, the unique rhythm of Jamaican life, someone who stands firmly where you stand. That's a profoundly powerful concept. It's about seeing yourself, your history, and your future reflected in the very highest office of the land. It's about genuine representation, a feeling of true ownership over your national destiny. This sentiment, this desire for a leader who embodies the very essence of Jamaica, is a key driving force behind the growing support for this Republican transition. Wait. See, this is more than just a political debate. It's a national conversation, a moment of profound introspection for Jamaica and its citizens. And as we move into our next section, we'll delve even deeper into the historical context, the lingering questions, and what this is all truly means for the identity and future of Jamaica. So, guys, I'll ask you to stay with us. Don't move an inch. Okay, alright, let's take a deep breath and truly internalize what this move towards a republic signifies. Let's get personal about it. Jamaica achieved its independence back in 1962. It was a monumental step, a joyous breaking away from direct colonial rule. But here's the thing, even with that independence, the symbolic head of state remained the British monarch. Think of it this way. Jamaica moved out of its parents' home, gaining its own address and its own identity, but still kept a portrait of the landlord on the wall. Keeping the king or queen as the head of state meant that the ultimate symbol of sovereignty of who was truly at the apex of the nation was still foreign. Becoming a republic then isn't just about changing a name or on a letterhead. It's a profound declaration, a statement that says with absolute clarity, this is ours, this is us, this is 100% Jamaican. It's the final definitive step in that national moving on process. It's about truly taking ownership not just of the land, but of the very spirit and governance of the nation. It's about saying we are fully capable of leading ourselves from the ground up to the very top. This surge of Republican favor isn't unique to Jamaica. Across the Caribbean, there is a palpable awakening, a vibrant energy pulsating through the region. We've already seen Trinidad and Tobago, we've seen Guyana, Dominica, and most recently Barbados making this decisive move. So Jamaica is clearly next in line, and that energy, that commitment to full decolonization is undeniable, contagious. It's a regional movement, a collective stride towards complete self-determination, recognizing that true independence means shedding all vestiges of colonial oversight, however symbolic they may seem. But rooting out these colonial hangovers goes much deeper than simply changing the head of state. This Republican debate is openly a broader, more critical conversation across the island. We are seeing renewed and intensified debates about reparations for slavery are more imperative for many who feel the centuries that the century of exploitation demand historical justice. There is also a strong push for full ownership of legal systems, ensuring that justice is administered by and for Jamaicans, free from any external influences. And crucially, it's about bolstering national pride and in a profound way, transforming how Jamaicans see themselves. It's about moving beyond any lingering sense of being a former colony and embracing a future where Jamaica is truly a global player, self-assured, and self-reliant. In February 2025, during the throne speech, a significant update was provided that offered a clearer roadmap for this historic transition. The Custos Rotundum for Kingston confirmed that several key steps will be initiated within the 2025-2026 parliamentary year. This timeline provides some certainty and structure to the process, ensuring it's not simply an abstract idea but a concrete plan. These key steps include number one, that is joint select committee reviews. This is where proposed constitution amendment public bill will undergo intense scrutiny and debate by a committee composed of members from both houses of parliament. This stage is crucial for refining the bill, addressing concerns and incorporating diverse perspectives, right? Okay, it's where the real legislative work gets done, transforming initial proposals into a robust legal framework. Number two, refining constitutional chapters 3 and 7. These chapters are particularly significant because chapter 3 deals with fundamental rights and freedoms, and chapter 7 outlines the powers and functions of the executive. Any changes here will directly impact the rights of the citizens and the structure of governance under a republican system, ensuring they are modernized and aligned with contemporary democratic principles, right? Finally, the introduction of a referendum bill. This bill will be vital as it will specifically outline the details for the public vote. It will define the exact question that will be put to the out to the public, establish the procedures for the referendum, and ensure fairness and transparency in the voting process. This is the bill that will empower every eligible Jamaican to cast their vote on this momentous decision. Malho Forte, the Legal Affairs Minister, made a very important clarification that should alleviate some concerns about political timing. She explicitly stated that this transition will not happen alongside the the next general election. This is a significant point. It suggests a commitment from the government to ensure that the Republic referendum is a focused standalone event and untainted, right, untainted by the usual political campaigning and election cycles. The goal, it seems, is to have a well-informed referendum where citizens can make a clear decision based on the merits of the proposal, rather than it being overshadowed or politicized by broader election dynamics. They want a focused, well-informed referendum, giving the people the space and clarity to make this crucial choice, right? It's worth noting that draft bills have been on the table since as early as September 2024. There are two essentially main pieces of legislation driving this process. One that directly transforms the monarchy into a republic, detailing the new presidential role and constitutional adjustments, and the other, as mentioned, that meticulously sets out the rules and procedures for your vote for the referendum itself. These legislative pieces are the engine of this transition, providing the legal framework for the journey ahead. Okay, now let us talk about the real talk on the debate surrounding this transition, because there are nuanced perspectives, valid concerns, and healthy disagreements that are crucial to understand. One of the most significant internal debates revolves around the nature of the new presidency. Some individuals and groups strongly advocate for a fully elected executive president. This would mean a president with substantial powers directly chosen by the people, akin to the American or Brazilian model. They believe this will provide a stronger, more accountable leader who truly represents the popular will. However, you see, others argue for a non-executive ceremonial figure, much like the current Governor General, but a Jamaican, right? Their reasoning is that a non-executive president protects the governmental stability, maintains the parliamentary system, and acts as a unified national figure above the political frame. Okay, this is not just semantics, it's about the very architecture of power, about checks and balances, and about who truly holds the reins of governance in a Republican Jamaica. the choice here is profound, impacting the balance of power between the president and the prime minister. Critics, including respected commentator Rosalie Hamilton, have voiced concerns that this shift might inadvertently strengthen the prime minister's sway. The argument is logical. If the prime minister or the ruling party plays a dominant role in selecting the president, and that the president then has the power to appoint senators, as some proposals suggest, it could potentially lead to centralization of control within the executive branch. This raises legitimate questions about the separation of power and the potential for a less robust system of checks and balances, which is vital for any healthy democracy. It's a point that demands careful consideration and robust safeguards within the new constitutional framework. So another critical point of contention is the judicial system. Some argue passionately that keeping the Privy Council as the final court of appeal while simultaneously removing the monarch is a half measure. For them, true sovereignty means complete legal autonomy. They believe that if Jamaica is to truly cut the colonial code, it must go all the way, and that means replacing the Privy Council with the Caribbean Court of Justice (CCJ) as the absolute apex of judicial system. So from this video, you see clearly that there are people who want to break free from the monarch, and there are other people who are still sitting at the front. So as a Jamaican, someone who lives in Jamaica, and even for those who are living in the diaspora, what do you think about this video? What do you think about what I've just discussed? Because it's a very crucial conversation, a conversation that we must approach with sober minds, a conversation that each and every one of us must be ready to engage in, because it doesn't make sense. You get independence in 1962, but you are not a republic, right? There is getting independence and becoming a republic. So making sure that Jamaica becomes a republic, there are those significant benefits that comes with it. So tell me in the comments below, what do you think about this? I know there are pros and cons of having the opportunity to be a republic, yes, but also it doesn't make sense. Like, someone at the helm of authority is oceans, thousands of miles away, sitting in a foreign country, in a different continent. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know what you think about this, but tell me in the comments, and also make sure that you like this video, make sure that you share this video. Let us spread the awareness. Let us all think, let us all come together and think for a moment. Are you ready for a Jamaica that is self-governing, like a Jamaica that has a president who is Jamaican? So that's been your boy for today, Sam, and this is the Diaspora. Peace out.